Now, by all means.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp.
Alright, just give it a few minutes and we will start. Check it out. One minute, boys, 1 minute. Mac and cred in the bed. Believe me, sweet. Give it a few minutes. I'm just trying to do this IG Live. Also, if you guys have any questions, just drop them in before we start. Start in 2 minutes. I'll answer your question in a minute, bro. Got a gun up in your waist. 1 second, boys, 1 second. Let me pin this real quick. What's up, boys? Go over on YouTube. If you're watching, go over on YouTube. Let's do it. If you're watching on Instagram, guys, go on YouTube. Alright. How I would start OFM if I had $0. I want to make sure you guys can actually hear me properly. Let's just make sure 100% quickly. Alright, you can hear me. Perfect. Let's start. If you're on Instagram, go to YouTube. Some advice on how to go viral with AI off. It's completely dependent on your content, bro. If your content's shit, then it's not gonna get pushed. I drop 3 reels every day. I boost, post, carousel, and everything, but I still don't have good results. It's probably your content. I mean, if you send me a DM on Telegram at AYNCH and show me your content, it's probably the main issue. But what I want to focus on is how I would start OFM if I only had zero. Actually, it's how I would start OFM if I had $100. I'm going to show you exactly how I would rebuild my agency from zero if I only had $100. Still, first of all, you don't have an agency without a model. And guys, keep in mind, all the questions, I'm going to do them throughout the video, but it's also important that I show everyone the main part of the video, and that is how I would start OFM with $100. How I would start. Firstly, you don't have a agency without a model, right? So our main focus is to get a model on. And I know that's a big issue within this industry, is getting a model into your OFM agency. I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it extremely easily at a low cost. First of all, there's multiple ways you can do this. Now, if you're starting an OFM agency from zero and you have $100 to your name, you're most likely not going to be spending thousands of dollars on meta ads, etc. You're going to want to do it organically, and you're probably not going to sign on a high quality model at the start purely because you have no results, you have no credibility to an extent, right? You need to get credibility. So how do you do that? You hire on or you sign on an Argentinian model. Now, I'll explain why this works so well and why it's so easy in a second, but these Argentinian models are extremely easy to sign on. Even if you just DM them on Instagram, you'd sign one on pretty easily, right? So we're gonna be outreaching Argentinian models. I don't know why this is so small. Argentina models. All right, how do you do this? Now, you could do it from a personal account by all means. It doesn't really need to be from an agency account. It's better if it is from an agency account that looks semi-decent, but keep in mind these Argentinian models don't even speak English, right? They don't really care. They just want money. You can do one or two things. And I'm gonna tell you the best thing you could possibly do is the 50-50 split or the 60-40 split. Actually, because it's Argentinian models, you're gonna want a 60-40 split because they're not gonna do a lot for the 50-50 split. Or you can go a salary, the salary model, right? As to where you pay them a certain salary, whether it's $500, $600, $700 a month. You could pay them $1,000 a month. Our Argentinian salary models are getting $1,000, 1.2K a month. But again, if you're starting off with them, they'd probably accept $600, $700. So our main goal here is to do one of these two things. Is either sign on an Argentinian model, whether it's on a percentage split or it's on a 60-40 split. Now, if you're starting, I'll go 60-40 all the way. And I'll tell you why, because if you're going salary, right, you have to pay these models a salary every single week, whether it's $300 a week, $400 a week, etc. And if you're starting out with $100, then you're probably going to cut into the money you don't really have to pay them. That's why I would start with the 60-40 split. You don't have to, there's no upfront cost. You're not paying the model every single week. It's a 60-40 split. Any revenue comes in, you get 60% of. Any revenue that comes in, she gets 40% of, etc. net. Again, how to sign on these models, it's quite easy, right? I have 3 methods that you can use. First one being meta ads. Now keep in mind with meta ads, obviously there is some cost to it. But we've done tests with this in the past, and you can really get away with, spending, $100 on a campaign. You would still get in 100 to 200 leads, all from Argentina. So the first method would be meta ads. Now, how would you do this? You do it as follows. Let me write this out for you. You would run a simple static campaign Now the campaigns we run were simple static campaigns as to where it's just a photo, there's models in the background, etc. And there's text on the screen. Do you want to become a model, etc. We pay you weekly, blah, 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 right? That's how you're going to get the inbound DMs. Now make sure you're not saying anything about OnlyFans, etc. But it's really a modeling campaign where you're targeting Argentina. You're going to get a bunch of inbound leads in. I believe our cost per lead was like 10 cents. It got to around 10. It was extremely cheap, maybe 50 cents, a dollar. Anyway, it was extremely cheap. Now this is how most of these marketplaces are getting their leads in. When they're selling the contracts on the marketplace, mostly it's through meta ads because it's so easy to get leads in and sign them. Now, you're gonna run a simple static campaign. Make sure it's in Spanish, because obviously they speak Spanish. Make sure it's simple to understand. Make sure you do say nothing to do with OnlyFans. That's extremely important. If you say anything to do with OnlyFans, you're going to get cooked, and your campaign will get taken down. So make sure it's clean. Make sure it's about modeling, and that you're going to get all the inbound leads into your account. I would recommend doing this on an agency account. We did it on an agency account. Again, it gives you more credibility as to when they come into the DMs, they know what it's about, and you can sign them on pretty easily. You can either go the 60-40 split salary route, depending on what you want to do. If you're starting out, I would recommend the 60-40 split. Once you understand how much money you can make and the margins, the CAC post, etc. Right? Once you understand all the metrics, that's when you can go the salary route, because you actually start making way more money on a salary. Because I'll explain in a second. You make way much more money on a salary because you're paying the girl. You're paying the girl $800 USD per month to control 100% of the OnlyFans account. So this is what the business model looks like when it comes to salary. You're paying the salary model $800 USD, $1,000 USD per month to control 100% of the OnlyFans account. Meaning, she's going to give you the account, the login details. You're going to change all the login details to your own personal email, etc., to a family account, same as the banking. So it's your personalized OnlyFans account. You are simply just using her as the face of the brand. She's providing you with the content that you need, etc. This is how it works. The 60-40 split is a bit different because she's going to have access to the account. She's going to want you to make more money on the account so she can get a bigger revenue payout when it comes to it, which is good when you're starting out in this industry, because again, you don't have thousands of dollars to pay these models every single week. But when it comes to 60-40 split, there's no upfront costs, etc. I'm going to answer some of these questions. Do you spoof and repost the same reels on other accounts or fresh videos for each account? Always. We spoof content to an extent. Where it's not like we're putting it into a spoofer, but we're spoofing it to the extent of we're merging the two clips together with a different clip, and that's how it comes out as unique content. So you can do this by running meta ads. Again, this is the most scalable, the most easiest way to do it, because it's all inbound. You get 100 DMs a day if you're running roughly a $100 budget, or you can just personalized outreach on IG. Again, I'd recommend you doing it on an agency page, not your personal. But you can personalize outreach on IG. And I'll write this up quickly as to where you are outreaching an agency account. Now, where are you going to find these girls also? If you're outreaching on an agency account, you're most likely going to be going through Argentinian nightclub follower list. This is where you're going to find most of the models, whether it's as a nightclub, whether it's something semi-degenerate, because that's where most of the girls are going to be interested in doing OnlyFans. So here is really the outreach, right? The outreach, it's going to be Argentina. We're going to either sign them on a 60-40 split or the salary model. I would recommend 60/40. Again, I would recommend meta ads over Instagram because it's all inbound. You don't have to do that much work, etc. If you're on Instagram, come over to YouTube. You'll see my screen, etc. So that's how we're going to get on the model, first of all. That's the biggest issue, is the model, because we don't have a model. When we don't have a model, there's no money. So that's the model problem fixed. Secondly, this industry comes down to two main factors, and that's marketing and chatting. Now, let me just fix this a little bit. All right, this industry comes down to two main things, marketing and chatting. The next thing would be the marketing. Again, once we have a model signed on, if we have no marketing, we have no subscribers coming into the model's OnlyFans account, meaning we're making no money. So we need the marketing to be on point. We need there to be, subscribers coming into the OnlyFans account so our chatters can actually sell. How would I market if I only had $100? Now, we're going to do multiple things. Firstly, it would be Instagram, because Instagram, if you think about it logically, we're making Instagram accounts and we're posting content, whether it's AI content or content of the model, meaning our cost per subscriber would be zero, because we're not spending any money to actually get these subscribers in. It's all organic marketing, which is ideal if we don't have a lot of money. Instagram, how are we going to do this? We're going to create an account or multiple accounts. We can realistically create around 3 to 5 accounts per phone. So create 3 to 5 accounts per device. Again, these are Argentinian models, so you have to understand that the content that they're going to be producing is going to be semi-low quality, right? It's not going to be as quality as Australia or a US girl or a Canadian girl. It's going to be pretty low quality. So we have to make adjustments accordingly, meaning we're going to make a lot of AI generated reels. Now, how do we do that? We're going to clone our model into an AI-based model for unlimited quality content. Extremely important. Now let's think about it logically. We have our model, our salary model. She doesn't create the best content in the world. It's hard for us to convey to her how to create the content, what lighting we need, what expressions, how social media works. It's very difficult for these women to understand, especially when they're in Argentina and they don't understand the social media game in a Western country. So we're going to do it via AI, because AI, we can sit there on our computer and we can generate the content as we wish the content to be generated. We can make high quality content, we can make viral content, all from our computer. We don't have to message people, we don't have to wait for the model, etc. Extremely easy. How to clone the model. Now, how to clone the model. It's as easy as this. This is going to annoy me. Why isn't this? Anyway, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go into Higgsfield AI. I believe that's how it's called. Maybe it's 2 S's. Higgsfield AI. And we're going to want to upload 4 to 5 quality face pictures of our model. Now, this is going to give the AI on Higgsfield an understanding of, obviously, what our model looks like, and any prompt we put in is going to be evolved around our model's face. How to get the prompts? The prompts are extremely simple to get. In fact, I believe I made a video on it, so I may not show you one here, but I'll write it out. It's extremely simple. To get the prompts, you want to find a picture that you want to remake to an extent of your model. You want to remake it, maybe slightly adjust it. You want to find that picture and you want to screenshot it. You want to put it into ChatGPT. Find a picture you want to create with your model, put it into, get ChatGPT to reverse engineer the photo for your model. And then ChatGPT is going to give us a reverse engineered prompt of the photo we just put in. All we'd simply do is grab the prompt, put it into Higgsfield with our model's photos, face photos, and it's going to give us a high quality output. Higgsfield will give us a high quality output of our model based on the prompt we gave it. As simple as that. Higgsfield will give us a high quality output of our model based on the prompt we gave it. So how does this come back into Instagram? What we're going to do with this is we're going to use these photos for Instagram for the feed pictures and stories, CTAs, etc. To create the reels is extremely simple. There's 3 methods, and I'm only going to talk about 2 of them because one of them's too overpowered, but there's 3 methods into creating AI reels. You have motion control, you have text to image, and you have the big question mark, because I'm not going to exactly go over it too much because it's extremely overpowered in our agency. Motion control is as follows. You want to find a video you want your model to recreate. So for example, you have, let's just say, a Sophie Rain video. She's standing, you want your model to look like that. All you're simply going to do is download this Sophie Rain video. You're going to want to reverse engineer the prompt of the video. This is for text to image, so I'm going to put that in there, text to image. You're going to want to screenshot the first frame of the video. So the exact first frame of the video. Yeah, I do see the chats. I'll answer some of them now. I have a Spanish model, but her background is shit. Should I promote her in Spain or go hybrid for US audience for reels? Exactly what I'm talking about. If you have a Spanish model and her background's terrible and she's bad at making reels, go the AI route. Do you run mass reels or salary only, or also percentage creator? Currently only salary. We pay the models a salary and we control the whole OnlyFans account. They're just they're the face of it, and we take 100% of the revenue. How's it going, brother? I do see the chats. I do see the chats indeed. So you want to screenshot the first frame of the video. Once you have the first frame, you want to go into ChatGPT. Go into ChatGPT and reverse engineer the first frame of the video. After that, you then want to wait. Also, how much respect for doing this on a Friday night for 9 people only, bro. Appreciate it a lot. Of course, brother. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm always grinding. All right, go into ChatGPT and reverse engineer the first frame of the video. After you have the first frame reverse engineered, you then want to go into Higgsfield with the prompt. And input high quality face pictures of your model. Input high quality face pictures of your model into Higgsfield with the prompt. Higgsfield will then give you the correct prompt, correct image output, matching the first frame of the video. Once you have the video of Sophie Rain and the exact same first frame of your model doing the exact same thing as a static picture, you then want to go into cling.ai, go into motion control, and put them both into motion control. Now what cling.ai is going to do is it's going to have the Sophie Rain video, and it's going to have the first frame of your model in the exact same pose as Sophie Rain, and it's going to combine the video, and your model is going to be Sophie Rain, and then you can use it Use it for Reels. To risk the accounts being pulled back by the model, are you still able to hit 10K views on day 0 posting on jailbreak? Yes, we are. No SIM plus VPN. Yes, that's our exact setup. All of your models are from South America. Correct, Argentina. Which link in bio we're using for Instagram right now. Link.me, but there's a lot of issues, as you probably know, currently in the industry with link.me or any link provider. Again, this always happens. It usually goes away. I'd say within the next week there will be a fix, but for now we're just putting the link in the highlights and what's it called? Also, I'm in Dubai, so we're getting these notifications on our phones and there's bombs going off, so don't mind that. Yeah, link.me is having issues right now. Put it in the link in the highlights and the account won't get flagged. But why would a simple Sophie Rain dance vid motion get decent views? First of all, we don't do Sophie Rain motion control. I'm just giving you an example. We do motion control, but I can't exactly say what we do, but it's not with Sophie Rain or any of those models. I'm just showing you how that you could generate reels using AI without, you know, a physical model, and you could motion control. We do use motion control, but you have to get creative with it. I'm not going to say exactly what we motion control, but get creative enough and your videos will go viral. Text to image is still quite good. It really depends on what you're really using, and your prompt has to be extremely realistic. So for this to work, you need to have an extremely in-depth prompt. And then you would need an extremely good base picture. Do you create accounts in Crane containers or have a separate device for account creation and proxy or VPN? Or we create all the accounts in Crane containers and we keep them in the Crane container they were created on. We use VPNs, Mulvad VPN. So yeah, that's the answer. How about custom domains for link in bio? Again, there's some things that are working right now that I've seen, but everyone ends up getting flagged. Maybe it works for a day, but they're getting flagged. I've heard that custom domains, then a redirect to link me works, but again, people are still getting flagged. Do they work? I'm using one right now. I haven't had hell issues. Again, we have like 100 accounts right now, and only like, I believe right now around 60% of our accounts got flagged, but then once we put the link in the highlights, they are not flagged anymore. But again, it's not ideal for conversions, but I believe it will get fixed. LinkMe has connects with Meta, so it's not like they're just gonna let all their links get flagged. Link in highlights doesn't get flagged, no. So if you put the link in the highlight and you add it as the first highlight and you have a CTA in your bio saying, click my highlight for the link, your account won't get flagged. If I have like 5K message requests on IG from inbound DA traffic, how would you go about responding to them all in one go? Would props cook the account, or would you do 200 DM responses a day? It depends. If like it's gonna cook the account if you respond to all of them, because a lot of them will report the account. I would, I personally wouldn't even respond to them. If it's a main account you're using, just simply keep up posting the reels and keep up with the CTAs in your stories, and that will eventually get funneled. But if it's a spam account and you're not interested and you don't mind if it gets banned, you can simply just run Cupid on it. What deep link in bio are you using? We're not using any deep link. We're using link.me. Some accounts are getting flagged, some aren't. The ones that are getting flagged, we're putting the link in the story highlights. Do you ever have it so that you post on Jailbreak Ruse and it gains views quite fast, then just plateaus? Yes. A lot of accounts are like that. It depends on what content you're posting. For example, if you're thinking about it logically, the Jailbroken Reels strategy consists of you posting really one vertical over and over and over and over again until the account gets flagged to an extent. And when you're posting the same vertical over and over and over and over again, Instagram's going to pick up that the account's just posting the same thing, just slight tweaks, and it's going to go neutral. I'm having the issue right now. I can post on jailbroken reels. It gets like 1 to 3K views, but can't climb beyond that. Then IG removes the content. I mean, we are posting every single day, and we're getting millions of views. They may get removed, they may not. You can't see what I'm writing. I'm not writing anything right now. I'm just responding to the questions. Could it be NSFW detection by Meta? Yeah, for sure. If you're posting flash reels, and it will get detected. En masse, do you use links? I guess you don't. One link for 1,000 accounts. Yes, you can use one link for 100 accounts if you wanted, but you can't put it in the bio. If you put it as a story highlight, it doesn't get flagged. What not use? I don't understand. Let's get back to this. What about Instagram? Can you reset a phone with like, brother, go over to YouTube, pinned, and I'll respond to it. So for text to image, you need an extremely in-depth prompt, an extremely good base picture, etc., or it won't really work. Now, I kind of want to give you guys an example too of this. Let me see if I can pull this up quickly. Because if I can give you an example, it makes it make a lot more sense. All right. So this is an example. I can't even put it on the screen. Let me get to do this. Nice. All right. So this would be one of the examples that I'm talking about with the unknown thing that I'm not really going to go over, but it's extremely good and it's working extremely well for us currently, AI related.
How was it, Johnny?
Well, butter my biscuit, darling. You rode that thing harder than a rodeo bull. I think my pacemaker skipped a beat.
So why these work so well is because it's extremely realistic and it's abnormal to the normal Instagram viewer. I mean, normal girls aren't creating these type of videos, first of all. Second of all, it's extremely realistic. So English speaking, you can obviously see why this will go viral. We're using this for our models and it's going ultra viral. If you want to check it out, this isn't our account, but this is an example of account that's we got inspiration off to actually use it for our models, and it's working extremely well. I'm not going to show you exactly how to create it because, again, I can't just give out all that information for free on YouTube, but these type of reels are also working extremely well for us. Motion control is also working extremely well for us. Text to image, we don't do much, but these two right here are definitely winners in the AI reel space currently. These also work on TikTok also. So what I'm going to go over, we went over to Instagram marketing-wise. Let's go over TikTok because TikTok's underrated right now. I can't lie. Again, TikTok in 2025, even 2024, was a lot more difficult than it is actually right now, especially when after it got handed over, after they sold it, it seemed to be extremely easy for some reason. The only difference with TikTok is the account creation. You have to be a little bit more fragile with the account creation. Do you put the same link in bio for all jailbroken accounts? Not the same, but pretty much we only rotate through a few links. Wouldn't it be better to have one link per 10 accounts so it won't connect? It doesn't connect. We've already split tested this. If it's in the story highlights, it doesn't connect. There's no chain bands. Is there any place that you share or sell the content? Yes. If you DM me at AYNCH, I'll send you over the details to my private community as to where I share this. What's the username? The username of this account is Sophie22hot. This is where we got the inspiration for our models. Here's doing flash trends. I mean, flash trends work extremely well. You just have to be extremely cautious while posting them. My video just got his IG banned for integrity reasons. Turned out he had over 5 registered accounts on the phone. Is there a way to avoid this / reset the phone after a lot of registered IGs? It's difficult because if it's a VA and he has other accounts on the phone and maybe they're his personal accounts, I don't know the exact context. If they're not and they don't need the accounts, just factory reset the phone, make a new Apple ID, and you'll be fine. This is getting millions on vertical spam acts on vertical spam. If you mean flash trends. Oh, these accounts, these reels for us are getting millions of views currently for our models. What do you think about car talking type reels? Very good. Very good. I'm not going to talk too much about that, but very good. Flash trend needs model to do it. I can't find an AI to do it. I have the AI that can do it, my friends. I have everything you need in life with OFM. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but we have done flash trend AI reels. All right, TikTok. How to create a TikTok account. Our models are Latin American, yes. Do they talk in videos? They don't. I mean, they don't talk in the videos. The AI talks in the videos. Again, there's a lot of workarounds when it comes to AI. How to create a TikTok account. First of all, you need a US Apple ID. Extremely important as a US Apple ID. If it's not, then it's going to get pushed to the wrong audience with a US VPN. What to note? It's extremely important that you download the VPN first before downloading TikTok. Once the VPN is downloaded, you then want to download TikTok with the VPN connected and then sign up on TikTok using the US Apple ID. You can do flash trends with pics also. Yes, I know a big agency that's doing that right now, but we don't. All of ours are videos. We're not. Have you tried mass threads similar to Instagram on jailbroken phones? We used to do mass threads on jailbroken phones, but they've pretty much killed it as to where you add a link in the bio and the account will get banned. You really have to, like with threads, if you're running mass accounts, you have to funnel the traffic to another account. The conversions are just terrible. I've seen Kling 2.5 Turbo, Kling 3.0, and even motion controls can't do flash trend. There's ways around it. If you DM me AYNCH and you are interested in joining my private community, all the information is in there. If you want to do AI flash trends, if you want to do real flash trends, again, I have it all. Where do you find US Apple ID accounts? Z2U. You can buy them off Z2U or you just simply create them, and I'll show you how to create them quickly. When creating an Apple ID, to create a US Apple ID, simply put, I believe it comes up with a prompt saying where are you located or something. Simply put USA, and then we'll prompt you for a USA number. Get the number from SMASPool. So we'll prompt you for a US number. Once you obviously don't have a US number, you have to go to smspool.com, I believe, and then you can get a US number from that, and that's what you would use. Keep in mind to turn off Find My iPhone created the Apple ID. If you don't turn off Find My iPhone and it prompts you for the number again, your phone will be bricked. If you're in the US, then you don't need a VPN for TikTok. So do you create the accounts for IG on VPN or proxy? We create all of them on VPNs. Mulvad VPN has a lot of strings. You can go through every single country, use multiple strings. Is Surfshark USA City as VPN fine? I mean, I'm sure it would be fine. I don't see a reason why not. So this is how you would create a TikTok account. Now, when it comes to TikTok, all we're going to do is repurpose pretty much all the content that we're posting on Instagram that's gone viral onto TikTok. And then we're going to funnel in the bio, all the traffic from TikTok back to Instagram. So it's a massive funnel, right? All the things that we're posting on Instagram, we're just gonna repurpose on TikTok, and we're getting all the views from our repurposed content on Instagram. All the traffic from TikTok is gonna get refunneled back to Instagram, where you have the link in the bio where they're gonna convert it into OnlyFans. That's how we're gonna do it via Instagram and TikTok. Again, this is all $0 CAC, meaning cost to acquire a customer is $0. We're not paying any money to get these people in. We're posting organic content. The only thing we're paying for is the AI generations, which are extremely, they're minimal cost, right? We're not spending a lot of money. How many TikTok accounts per container? So we're not running TikTok on any jailbroken phones. All the TikTok accounts are on physical phones. You're gonna have issues when it comes to TikTok with jailbroken devices, but we are running 4 accounts per device. And I'll tell you this is a great little hack here. Great little hack. So how we're creating these TikTok accounts is as follows. The first account gets created through the Apple ID. Now the second account and the third and the fourth is going to be created all through email. Now it's very difficult with Gmails these days, etc. Getting Gmail accounts and then they'll get bans. How do we do this? We're gonna buy iCloud Plus. Now, when you buy iCloud Plus, you get unlimited emails. So when I mean unlimited emails, what it does is you have your main email, and then it's going to give you unlimited emails for hiding your email. So if you want to create another email, it's going to give you another redirect to another email, and it's pretty much a way to hide your emails, but it all gets funneled back into your main email anyway. So you're going to use these unlimited iCloud emails to sign up to TikTok. Are you doing black account on TikTok? No, we're not. All accounts held on. Just left Dubai, back in London. Yeah, I mean, I've been in Dubai through this whole thing. It's really not that bad. It's not as bad as people think it is, but I mean, last night I woke up at like 6 in the morning. Massive intercept over my house. Have you ever explored API for mass posting reels on IG or TikTok? Not API, but we're in the process of building automation. I'm wondering why you decided to run 3+ accounts per container instead of making more containers so it would stay 1 act per container. I mean, you can do both. If you can run 3+ accounts, 1 container, or you can do 1 container per account. Again, if you're doing 1 container per account, it's just more manually of going to 1 container, switching to the VPN accordingly to container, posting, taking off, go to a different VPN, just a little bit more work. How many TikTok accounts per non-jailbroken phone? 4. Do you make all 4 on the same day, 1 by 1? Yes, we make all 4 on the same day. With TikTok, there is a 1-day warm-up, but it's nothing major. So this is how you would make the TikTok account, is to where US Apple ID, US VPN, make sure this is noted. 4 accounts per device, email by the iCloud Plus, and you'll get unlimited emails. And we're going to redirect all the traffic. We're going to post everything on Instagram to TikTok, and then redirect all the traffic back to Instagram, link in bio, funnel to OnlyFans. That's that. And then we have, what else do we have up here? The chatters. You can also do Twitter. I'm not going to put Twitter in here because we're already 45 minutes in. Crazy, I have a lot to do tonight. But we are going to do the chatting part. This is extremely important. Because if you don't have, you can have as much traffic as you want coming into the account, but if you don't have quality chatters, you're not going to make any money, because 90%, 95% of your revenue will be coming in all through chatting. And where we're going to hire the chatters is from the Philippines. Do I strip the metadata? Yes. We put every single video through CapCut or every single picture through Canva. So TikTok 1-day warm-up, then post once a day. We can post. We're posting 1, 2, 3 times a day. When do you scale daily posts? I don't understand. What VPN and not private mobile proxy on IG? We're using Molvad VPN. What if I run only 4 accounts on jailbroken phones as on normal phones? Will I still have issues? For some reason, look, we've split tested jailbroken devices, non-jailbroken devices. There is really no difference. Instagram doesn't hammer down on jailbroken devices phone. There is no there's no, you're not getting flagged more than you are a normal phone. You're not getting flagged at all. So I mean, it depends on the content you're posting. You can just run, if you wanted to run your main accounts on jailbroken devices, you could. Would I recommend it? No, because they will eventually catch on to this. VPN is way cheaper. Any way to stop content on IG Reels for reaching a particular country? That's a long discussion, but it comes down to your content. If you have bad content, it'll get pushed to India. Do I use a chat agency? No, I have my own chatters. Yeah, if you're doing first of all, don't worry about the chat ratio. Worry about the LTV per subscriber. And if you're doing a 1 to 3, that's extremely terrible. I would personally, instead of completely just stopping working with them, because it's going to be a hassle when you have no chatting on the account, let them chat on the account. But on the back end, you need to be hiring chatters and training them accordingly. First of all, it's going to lower your costs. You're going to have more margins, and you're going to have quality chatters, because you're going to be actually the one that are controlling them, making sure they're doing the work accordingly. Would bump my rev from 30 to 100K off from doing, yeah, I mean, exactly. I wouldn't switch straight away, because then you have no chatters, but just start the process of hiring chatters and training them accordingly. I would never, I understand the reason for chat agencies, but again, I don't really like it. 5% pure commission. We don't do pure commission. All our chatters are $3, 3% of net, not gross, because it doesn't make sense that you're paying them something that you're not even getting yourself. I wouldn't run them on pure commission. I run them on an hourly also, just because if you do pure commission, then they're just going to hard sell every person, and it's going to make the chat look ugly. All right, so Filipinos, chatting, extremely important, where to hire them. OFMjobs.com, easily the best place currently, simply because of all the filters they have on their website. I am not affiliated with them, but I use them on a daily basis to hire individuals. And the main part of chatting, and I want everyone to understand this, is you are not selling content. This is really the main part of our whole chatting operation, is that you're not selling content. As soon as your chatters think they're selling content, everything's out the door, because your churn rate is going to be crazy, meaning every single person you have in, the lifespan is going to be extremely minimal. They're going to come in, they're going to spend on your account, and they're just going to see they're getting hard sold every time for content. If they wanted content, they could get it for free, let's be honest. You're not selling content. You are selling a relationship. You're selling a connection, as to where you need to get it into their heads, as every single time they step off OnlyFans, your model doesn't disappear out of their head. They're at work, they're thinking about your model. They're at fucking the gym, they're thinking about your model. This is how you get the big spenders in. This is how you get the big whales in, is by doing this. Extremely important. You're selling a relationship / selling a connection. Extremely important to remember that. Now, what else is there? When it comes to chatting, and I tell my chatters this all the time, this is probably one of the most important things to tell your chatters. There is only 2 reasons you should be chatting to any individual. That is either to sell or upsell, or build the relationship further. There is no reason for your chatters to be texting a guy outside of these intentions. There is no reason. They are either selling or upselling, or they're building the relationship further. If they're doing anything else, then they're not chatting properly. They're selling or upselling or building the relationship further. Again, where to find them, OFM jobs. There is a video on my channel on exactly how to hire and to go through all the steps accordingly to actually filter out everyone. Do you favor salary or percentage creators? Salary for sure, simply because a lot of our marketing methods don't really need creator input to an extent. A lot of it can be done from our agency. Do you ever buy Meta Verified? No, we don't. I've heard there's massive issues with that. But I swear the Meta Verified seller logs in the account could harm it. That, and if it prompts you for identification further, then you're fucked. How do you ensure your chatters don't do something that they aren't supposed to do? I mean, it's all about building the connection with your chatters. Sergey, my brother, how are you? I'm on YouTube, but how are you, brother? So, first of all, pay your chatters every single week on time. That is literally the biggest thing, because I've seen so many agencies come into Telegram saying my chatter did this, my chatter did that, and it comes to find out that they didn't pay their chatters or they're days late on a payment. Pay your chatters on time. Boys, we're getting noties right now that we're getting lit up. We're getting lit up right now, and it's fucking ruining my stream. Where was I? Also, all my phones are about to go off right now. Literally, I have about 30 phones here, and they all go off at the same time with the same notification. It's crazy. Yeah, so how to ensure the chatters don't do something stupid? Make sure you pay them on time. Make sure you're conversing with them every single day. Make sure they have a manager. If you only are starting with $100, then obviously it's not ideal for a manager because you don't have the money. But once you're an established agency and you have the money, have a manager or a quality control manager that are looking over the chats every single day, giving them feedback, making sure they understand in their head, okay, there's someone actually watching over me. There's someone that's looking at what I'm saying, their notifications. And yeah, then accordingly, you can just, your manager will come to you, the chatting manager or the quality control manager will come to you with all the issues, whether it's they're responding with lazy chats or they're not building connection further or they're not even selling or upselling correctly. And then you can fix it. Is it a good idea to buy age accounts? So all of our accounts are created freshly. We never buy age accounts. With Instagram accounts, yes, we're doing the iCloud email strat. I'm trying to lower CAC on IG account creation. Trying to lower CAC on IG account creation, IG emails. Yeah, if you want to lower your costs, then just do the iCloud Plus. It's free emails. Congrats on the CoffeeZilla feature. I can't lie, man. We had a 25 minute conversation and he clipped up like 30 seconds of it and then added some crazy stuff in the end to make me look extremely bad, but it is what it is. How much do you pay the chat manager? She gets $100 a week and she's looking over, like she's really good to be honest, as to where she looks over everything and comes to me every single day with all the issues and how we can fix it. I don't know what that is. Okay. OFM jobs, you're not selling content, you're selling a relationship, selling a connection. When it comes to chatting, there's only two reasons you should be chatting to any individual. That's either they'll sell or upsell, build a relationship further. And it's also extremely important to have 24/7 chatters. You know, I saw in a group chat yesterday, then some girl was typing, she's like, oh yeah, I have chatters on my account, they chat 6 days a week and I let them have a day off. And I'm like, crazy, right? You're letting someone, like for sure, I understand people need to have days off, but that's why you need more chatters. So you're running things 24/7. Let's think about this logically. Let's say you're working, let's say you have chatters on the account 3.5 days a week, 3.5 days a week, like 3 days, half a day, etc. They're working 3 days and 12 hours one day. And you're making, 10K a month and you're fine with that. And you're just like, oh yeah, my chatters need to have days off because it's normal. They need to have days off to recover. That means you're leaving literally 100% more revenue on the table if you don't have 24/7 chatters. And it's the same with 6 days a week, 5 days a week. make sure you have 24/7 chatters because there's always someone on OnlyFans, whether in the US, Australia, Canada, fucking India sometimes, that is wanting to buy content. How much do you pay Ali just to watch? No, she gets paid a fixed salary. Everyone in that agency gets paid a fixed salary, except the chatters. When you start posting on completely new IG accounts, how long does it usually take for those reels to pick up on average for decent viewers to pick up? Again, if the quality of the content is good, you can get it within the first 24 hours. We've had accounts go viral within the first 24 hours with 1 million views. How do you structure 24/7 chatting? Very difficult, because you obviously need someone to be running every single day, every single hour of the day. So first of all, you want to construct the chat team as to where they're chatting. You have maybe 3 or 4 chatters on various accounts that are running 24/7. And obviously that's not ideal, because if you have 3 or 4 people, then they're going to be working every single day, which is not ideal. The chat quality will go down if people are working every single day. So once you have them working every single day, then you want to go out, find more chatters, get them on as part-time. They can fill the shifts where the chatters want to have time off, and that's how you have 24/7 chatting. Will this stream remain available on YouTube after? Yeah, I mean, I've answered a lot of questions. So yeah, I guess so. How much are you paying VAs posting on Jailbroken Reels or per account? So with the VAs posting on Jailbroken Reels, we have one box behind me where the purple stuff is, and we have a box there. I don't know what that noise is behind me, but there's a noise. Then we have a box there that is pretty much a Chinese box. I can connect all the phones to the box. We have one person that connects to my desktop behind me, and he posts all the reels daily, and he only gets $100 a week posting on all of our accounts. Again, he's fine with that, so that's fine. How many VAs do you hire for AI reels, and what do you pay them? Okay. First one, I need to turn this off because there's some noise. All right. How many VAs do I hire for AI reels? Let me think about this. We have one guy, Mark. So I have a team in the Philippines that actually does this all for me. So with the AI reels, they're getting paid. It depends on the method. Let me go back to this. It depends on the method of what they're actually getting paid here. And how long is this going for? 1 hour. Okay, so we have motion control, text to image, and this one, which I'm not gonna go over exactly. If you do wanna know how to go over, at AYNCH, Telegram. But motion control guys are getting paid $100 a week. Text to image, we don't do much of, but these guys get paid the most because the quality of the reels are extremely high, and it takes a little bit more effort and work to actually get these reels as quality as this one. As you can see, I can't actually watch it again. I have to go onto my tab. But as you saw before, the quality is extremely good. Yeah, so they remote access all my jailbroken devices. They remote access all my physical devices, so I don't have to do anything. They don't have the phones. All the phones are on my side, and that's how they do it. What's your cost of living in Dubai? Not much, to be honest, man. It's probably less than Miami, simply because I work so much that I actually don't go out a lot, and I just go to the gym, come back, work. That's really it. My main expenses go straight back into the business. Do they source or generate the creative for the reels? So I help them, and I give them ideas, and they come to me with ideas, and we come up with an idea, and I assist them with the prompt making at the start when they're getting trained, and then they understand how to do it. That's how we do it. Do you generate 4K, 2K images for reels? Yeah, we do 2K as the base for 2K. And also when you're generating it as the base, make sure it's extremely realistic as to where we're putting in to the prompt, and we're getting ChatGPT to create us a prompt in such a way as we're telling it that we want it to be extremely realistic as to where it should be taking an iPhone 14 Pro Max or an iPhone 12 or whatever iPhone there is that isn't the latest one. We want it to be realistic. We don't want it to be shiny. We don't want it, like, we want realistic features on the face. What software are you using for remote access? Ali Remote? No, we're using Rust Desk, I believe it is, as to where the VAs can connect to my PC. We don't use Ali because we don't need their phones. We have my phones here, and that's how we do it. Let's get back to this though. let's see if I missed anything before. I'll answer a few more questions. How do I start OFM at $100? Firstly, the model is here. We have the model, and she's from Argentina, and we're going to connect with her through Meta ads or Instagram. The marketing, if you really want, you can literally scale to 10K a month just off Instagram and TikTok alone if you understand what you're doing. And that is to where you're creating extremely high quality clones of your salary model. And then obviously once they get funneled into OnlyFans, exact same model, and then that's where the NSFW content is, the real NSFW content. I would also recommend you running one main account for your model as to where she's actually creating the content herself. So you can funnel some of the traffic from the AI accounts to your main account, and your conversions will be a lot better. 4 accounts per device on TikTok. All you're going to do is repurpose all the Instagram content onto TikTok and funnel all the traffic from TikTok back to Instagram and then back to OnlyFans. And then one of the other most important parts is the chatting. If you don't have chatting, then you're not going to make any money. Filipinos are the best. We've always hired Filipinos. Find them, ofmjobs.com. Again, you are not selling content, you're selling a relationship. What software? I already answered that. And you have to strip metadata. If you want to strip the metadata, simply put it through Canva or CapCut. If you're using videos, put it through CapCut and Canva photos. Do you favor agency-dependent approach or more creator-dependent approach for scale and long-term? Look, it really depends, because I see value in both. The only issue, there's pros and cons for both, so it's really like pick your poison. Whether you want to scale, the only reason I don't like the creator dependent is because I hate being dependent on people. I hate sitting here, and it's more of a volume game creator dependent, because you're gonna get on so many creators that are lazy. You're gonna have a lazy issue. You're gonna have an issue with them not wanting to create certain content. There's so many issues with creator dependent, because they want more money constantly. They don't want to create certain content. They're lazy. It's women at the end of the day, right? With salary, it's as simple as they don't have access to anything. We just message them on WhatsApp, hey, I need X, Y, and Z. Could we send it over by the end of the week? They send it over, they get their salary. There's pros and cons to both. I would go the creator dependent, but the only reason I would go creator dependent is if the creators were with me in real life. I wouldn't do it online. If I had them in person and I was in Miami or something and the girls were in person and I could actually film them doing the exact things I need them to do, then sure, I would consider it. But doing it online with no connection and it's a random person, it's not ideal. Do you have a link or a Telegram app for the phone box provider? I haven't found any for phones. Yeah, if you send me a message on Telegram at AYNCH. The 50% split is wild. I mean, it depends, man. It depends. If the creator's already coming in with, 20, 30K a month in revenue, and you understand that you can help her scale organically, then sure, it makes sense. But without being in person with these creators, I believe it's extremely difficult, simply because you don't know the person. It's all online. You don't understand their work ethic. And if you have to wait for weeks for things and they end up coming back to you saying, oh, why is the account revenue going down? But you're waiting, like you're sitting here with no content, it's not ideal. But I believe that's it. How I would start off at my $100. We've been doing this for over an hour now, and I need a cigarette. What about only doing TikTok and FanView? Again, you can do that. I always prefer real models. Then I don't believe AI NSFW will ever go anywhere. So I always prefer real models on OnlyFans. Again, you're only paying these girls a salary of $800 a month, and you get quality NSFW content that you can actually sell to these fans, and you can actually portray like they are the brand of the OnlyFans account. So it's extremely way easier than the brand of the brand of the FanView account being an AI model, as to where it just looks unrealistic. How would you find creators IRL in Miami? I mean, in Miami, it wouldn't be difficult. You could just go on fucking Bumble and Tinder, or just get some high-level connects with guys in Miami that know some girls that want to do it. But you can't find that stuff out in Dubai. For percentage creators from Argentina, the payout's handled the same way as salary, so I would not even consider doing percentage with Argentinian creators ever. But yeah, it'd be the same way, I guess. The only difference is that all the money would be going to a Skrill account, and then from there. But I don't believe it makes sense to do percentage with Argentinian creators at all. At all. I'm gonna end it here. We've been doing it for over an hour now. But if you guys have any further questions, put in the chat, DM me on Telegram at AYNCH. Any further questions? If you're interested in joining my private community as to where I show all my methods, including this one, marketing, chatting, every single thing you could possibly imagine, DM me on Telegram at AYNCH. Have a great night, boys.